everyone, I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to my channel, Learn Spanish Easily with Sergio Manso. In this lesson we are going to see the possessive pronouns, that is to say the genitive case, and we are going to see the most common uses of the preposition de in Spanish. And at the end of the video, as usual, I teach you some idioms and sayings in Spanish that have to do with this topic. Let's see. In another video we saw some videos ago the possessive adjectives. Now we are going to see the possessive pronoun, but working as a noun. Let's see how it is. For the first person in the singular, mío, mía, and the plural, míos, mías. Remember that in Spanish, the gender has to do with the object that belongs to us, or with the person we have a relationship. I say this because in English you have his and her, and his is a masculine pronoun, but it does not affect the object that follows, but the person. For he we say his, and for she we say her. So, mío, mía, míos, mías, tuyo, tuya, o tuyo, tuya, tuyos, tuyas. Él, ella, suyo, suya, suyos, suyas. Nosotros, nosotras, nuestro, nuestra, nuestros, nuestras. Vosotros, vosotras, vuestro, vuestra, vuestros, vuestras. Ustedes, suyo, suya, suyos, suyas. Ellos, ellas, suyo, suya, suyos, suyas. As you can see, these two, this one, and the one for the second person in the singular, all four coincide. And besides, I did the following. For these pronouns on, we can replace the possessive pronoun by using the preposition de, and then the personal pronoun in the nominative case. With all these possessive pronouns, we can do the following. We can make sentences saying esto es tuyo, esto es suyo, esto es nuestro, etc. And we can also say from this part on, esto es de él, de ella, esto es de nosotros, de nosotras. We cannot use the preposition de in the first and second case in the singular, because no one says in Spanish, esto es de mí, or esto es de ti. We directly say, esto es mío, or esta cosa es mía, but not this. But for the following pronouns, we do. Now let's see how this works in some examples. Well, now let's see some examples and their translation into English. Este reloj es mío. This clock is mine, or belongs to me. Estas tazas son mías. These cups are mine. So as you can see, gender depends on the gender of reloj in this case, or cups, tazas in this other case, etc. It has to coincide in gender and number with the possessive pronoun. Gender and number, masculine, singular, masculine singular, feminine plural, feminine plural. Aquel auto es tuyo. That car is yours. Aquellos pantalones son tuyos. Those trousers are yours. Or those pants in American English are yours. Or that pair of trousers is yours. From this part on, we can replace what we say here by using the preposition de and the personal pronoun in the nominative case, as I told you before. Esas medias son suyas. Esas medias son de él o de ella. Those socks are his or hers. Ese problema es suyo. Problema, although it ends with a, is masculine in Spanish, el problema. Ese problema es suyo, ese problema es de él, de ella. That problem is his, or you'd rather say that's his problem. And you cannot say that problem is of him or of her. Los chicos de rojo son nuestros. The children in red are ours. Now it's not possession, but it's referred to a bond, to a relationship. So the meaning is these are our children. So the children in red are ours, o los chicos de rojo son de nosotros, de nosotras. In Argentina, people of the same sex can get married and can adopt children, so I put de nosotras because it may be the case of two mothers who have children. So it means de nosotros, de nosotras. La casa nueva es vuestra. La casa nueva es de vosotros, de vosotras. The new house is yours. I'm driving my car and I'm with other people, and we go past the other people's school when they were children, and I say, el colegio es suyo, enthusiastically. Your school when you were children. El colegio de ustedes, it means the school you used to go to when you were children. In this case, you cannot say in English the school yours. So in some cases it cannot be literal. The translation cannot be literal. You'd say your school. But in Spanish we say el colegio suyo many times. It's very normal. El colegio de ustedes. And finally, los profesores suyos. Again, your teachers, your current or old teachers, it doesn't matter. But again, we put the possessive pronoun here. We can also say sus profesores, your teachers, los profesores suyos, your teachers. And los profesores de ellos or de ellas. Now that we've seen the genitive case for which we use the preposition de, we are going to see other uses of this preposition in Spanish, the most common ones. Let's see. Two more examples with the genitive that have to do with possession, but with proper names or with a noun phrase, let's say. El libro de mi hermana. My sister's book. My sister in real life, my sister's name is Cristina, so let's say we can say el libro de Cristina. Christina's book. Los errores de la gente. Well, this is very short in English. People's mistakes. A very common use of the preposition de. So let's number them. Possession. A very common use is to indicate weaknesses and virtues. Weaknesses and virtues. For example, es un hombre de un gran corazón. This is not, of course, literal. I'm not talking about the size of his heart, but about feelings. It means he's such a good man. Es un hombre de un gran corazón. He's a very good man or person. His heart is big in that sense, as for feelings. And as for weaknesses, let's see, es un hombre de malos sentimientos. He is a man whose feelings are evil, maybe. Bad feelings, this means feelings. So I'm meaning that this man's feelings are cruel, are evil. Another very common use is to talk about the material that something is made out of. Un pullover de lana, a woolen sweater, or a sweater made out of wool. So pullover is a sweater and lana is wool. Or I can say una campera de cuero, a leather jacket. Cuero is leather. And campera is very common in Argentina, but you can say chaqueta is more common in Spanish, both in Latin America and in Spain. Here we hardly ever say chaqueta, but it's the most common word in Spanish for jacket, and it's more similar to jacket than campera. Finally, un vaso de cristal, a crystal glass or glass made out of crystal. Three uses. Let's see the other common uses. Another very common use is when we want to specify a noun And so we use in Spanish this subclause, noun plus the preposition plus noun again. In Spanish we do it like this. For example, la sala de espera. Espera comes from the verb esperar, that means to wait, and to hope, both things. In this case, I'm referring to the meaning of waiting. From the verb esperar. So, la sala de espera is the waiting room. El salón de clase, the classroom. El auto de alquiler, the rent car, etc. Let's see another use. It's got to do with quantities. For example, necesito 1 kilo de azúcar. Necesito 1 kilo de azúcar. What do you think this means? I need a kilo of sugar, please. Quiero 1 litro de leche. I'd like to have a liter of milk. Remember that in Spanish, we cannot translate it literally into English because it would sound rude to English people. Because it's in the indicative mood and without please, but we use it like this. Quiero 1 litro de leche. I'd like to have a liter of milk, please. So, the quantity comes before the preposition. 1 kilo, 2 kilos, 2 kilos, 2 liters and a half, 2 litros y medio. When talking about the weather, ¿qué temperatura hace? This is the question when we want to know how hot or how cold it is. ¿Qué temperatura hace? What's the temperature? It's, well, today it's too hot here. I hate it. ¿Qué temperatura hace? Hace around 30. 30 grados, this is grados. And we can use or not, it's optional. It depends on how one feels like making the sentence in the specific time. De calor. It's not considered redundant. I mean, if it's 30 degrees, it is hot, of course. But we can use this. Hace 30 grados de calor. Depending on the temperature, we will say de calor or de frío. We cannot say it's 30 degrees cold, 30 grados de frío. In that case, with the temperature would be, for example, hace hace -2 grados. We can say hace menos 2 grados o hace 2 grados bajo cero. You already know what this is. It's minus 2 degrees or it's 2 degrees below zero. Hace 2 grados de frío. We can say this too. Let's see the other most common uses. Well, now let's see with adjectives. It's a very, very common use in Spanish. And the preposition goes after the adjective. Una tarea difícil de hacer. A hard-to-do task. A task that is hard to do. Un vecino fácil de llevar. An easygoing neighbor. In this case, we can replace or substitute this construction by saying llevadero or llevadera in the case of a woman. This would be easygoing, but the use of the preposition after the adjective is like this: un vecino fácil de llevar. With nouns. Well, with nouns, for example, tengo ganas de comer. I feel like eating. Tengo ganas de llorar. I feel like crying. No, not right now, it's just an example. So ganas, it cannot be translated into English literally. You say I feel like. We say tengo ganas, the verb to have. And this is a strong feeling when one feels like in the mood like doing something. Another example with a noun, with another noun. To express fear, we don't say soy miedo, estoy. We use the verb tener, to have, like here. Tengo miedo de las arañas. I'm afraid of spiders. This altogether would be translated into I'm afraid. Not literally, remember, because it's another verb. But you say I'm afraid of, like the here, of spiders. But this word is a noun and it means fear. Well, noun, preposition, noun, preposition. Let's see now with verbs. There are lots of verbs in Spanish that are followed by the preposition de. For instance, depender de, well, in English you use another preposition, to depend on. Alegrarse, alegrarse de, to feel happy about something. Cansarse de, to get tired of something or someone. Let's see another verb, but without this se, because it seems as if all of them were with se. Carecer de recursos, resources, for example. To have a lack of resources. Carecer de means to have a lack of. Sorry. Let's see another examples. Related to activities, for example, I'm calling to a clinic and the secretary answers the phone and I say to her, ¿Está el doctor? Is the doctor there? No. Está de vacaciones. No, he's not here. He's on holiday. So this is holiday. And, well, you say this with on. So the activity is being on holiday. He's not working. He's somewhere in another place of the earth. Estamos de fiesta esta noche. We are having a party tonight. So the fiesta, to be the fiesta, the whole translation would be we are having a party tonight. So the activity is the party. Let's see another activity that's got to do more with obligations. Well, estamos de examen. Let's suppose that two students are talking on the phone and one of them says estamos de examen. This means this is the part of the year, the period in which we must take different exams so as to end up the term. So these examples as for activities, and let's talk about a final common use to indicate the way in which something is done, something is said, in which something happens. For example, pasó de repente. This is in the past. It happened suddenly, all of a sudden. Well, you have the preposition of in all of a sudden or suddenly, pasó de repente. Lo sé de memoria. How do you know this? We want to know about the way. I know this by heart. De memoria means by heart. Te lo digo de verdad. This means truth. This is the present tense, el tiempo presente. So the translation into English is not literally. I'm saying this to you and I mean it. De verdad means I mean it. I'm telling the truth. And finally, let's see a pair of idioms. Finally, let's see some idioms that have to do with what we've seen. Ese tipo está de la cabeza. This means head. Del tomate, this means tomato. because of its similarity in shape with the head. And these two are very Argentinian. This is general in all Spanish-speaking countries, de la cabeza. Del tomate, I'm not sure if it's only used in Argentina or in other countries as well, but these two are for sure typical from Argentina. All four mean the same. The metaphor is the same. Del valero, well, this is referred to a game. I don't know the name in English, and I don't know how to play it. Well, it's got a chord, and you have to make something like this and put this object into a hole. Well, and del marote is very Argentinian. Marote, the only meaning that has is a vulgar way of saying cabeza, head. But we use it, all four, we use them all the time. Ese tipo está de la cabeza. This means that guy is out of his mind, is nuts, is insane, is crazy. Let's see another idiom. Well, more than an idiom, this is a saying. This is a saying, a proverb. De genios y de locos, todos tenemos un poco. Besides, we have rhyme here. Genio, genius, loco, crazy. Todos, we all have a little of this. This means all of us in this world are a bit of a genius and a bit of a crazy person. We are all that peculiar mix. And I like it. De genios y de locos todos tenemos un poco. And let's see a final, now another idiom. Well, this is an idiom indeed, and it's a metaphor, of course. And here we have a vulgar word, but I mean, when we are talking among friends or with our relatives or in an informal context, we use it. Pedo means fart, and preceded by de, it means aprobé el examen de pedo. By chance, not because I've studied enough. I was lucky and I passed the exam, but it was not due to my knowledge. So, ¿aprobaste? Did you pass the exam? Yes, I passed it. I was very lucky and I passed it. Sí, lo aprobé de pedo. Aprobé el examen de pedo. Remember, this is the direct object, so we can say lo aprobé and put this here replaced by the lo pronoun, objective pronoun. Lo aprobé de pedo. Well, people, that's all for today. I hope you had fun. I hope you liked this video. If so, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, share, comment, ask, etc. And see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye bye.